Is your mind just a complex computer made of meat? Or is it something more? In this episode, we'll dive headfirst into one of philosophy's greatest puzzles: mind-body dualism. We'll journey from Descartes' famous "I think, therefore I am" to modern neuroscience, exploring the profound, funny, and sometimes spooky connection between our inner world of thoughts and feelings and the physical brain that houses them. Now get ready to question everything you think you know about who and what you really are. I'm Danny, and this is a new episode of Thinking Out Loud from English Plus Podcast. Have you ever stubbed your toe and, in that white-hot flash of searing pain, had a truly bizarre thought? How can a purely physical event, a clumsy foot colliding with an unmoving table leg, create such a vivid, colorful, and decidedly non-physical feeling of ouch? It's more than just nerve signals. It's a private, internal experience. It's a feeling. It's your personal movie of agony. This simple, universal moment is a doorway into one of the oldest and most mind-bending questions in all of philosophy: the puzzle of mind-body dualism. Are you a body? Or are you a kind of pilot? A ghost in a biological machine, pulling levers and watching the world through a screen of your own eyes? To really get into this, we have to travel back to the 17th century and hang out with a French philosopher named René Descartes. He was a brilliant guy, but he had a serious trust issue with, well, everything. He got to thinking, how do I know any of this is real? I could be dreaming. A powerful demon could be tricking me. He decided to doubt everything he possibly could. He doubted his senses, his body, the world around him. But in this frenzy of doubt, he slammed into one thing he couldn't doubt: the fact that he was doubting. There was a thinker doing the thinking. And from that, he coined perhaps the most famous phrase in all of philosophy: I think, therefore I am. He realized his mind, this thinking thing, was undeniable, even if his body wasn't. This realization led Descartes to a powerful conclusion. The mind, the I that thinks, feels, hopes, and loves, seemed to be made of completely different stuff than the body, the it that bleeds, digests, and stubs its toe. The mind is private, spaceless, and weightless. You can't point to a memory or measure the mass of an emotion. The body, on the other hand, is public, physical, and operates according to the laws of physics. This is the heart of dualism, the idea that we are a combination of two distinct substances, one mental and one physical. It's the origin of that powerful metaphor: a non-physical ghost living inside a physical machine. And let's be honest, it feels intuitive, doesn't it? We say my body like it's a possession, something we have, not something we are. Our inner world feels so vast, so rich with the music of thought and the colors of emotion that it's hard to believe it's all just neurons firing in the dark. But here's where Descartes and every dualist after him gets stuck in the cosmic mud. If the mind is a non-physical ghost and the body is a physical machine, how in the world does the ghost drive the machine? Well, think about it. My desire to drink coffee, a completely mental event, a thought, somehow causes my physical arm to move, my fingers to grasp, and a mug to lift. How does a non-physical wish push around physical atoms? It violates the basic laws of physics, which states that any physical action needs a physical cause. It's like a ghost trying to start a car. It can pass its hand right through the key, so how does it turn the ignition? This is called the interaction problem, and it's the Achilles' heel of dualism. For the record, Descartes' best guess was that this magical interaction happened in the pineal gland, a tiny little gland in the center of the brain, which is the philosophical equivalent of saying it's, well, magic over there. Now, because the interaction problem is so thorny, many philosophers and scientists lean toward a different view called monism, which simply means everything is made of just one kind of stuff. The most popular version of this today is materialism or physicalism. This view says there is no ghost. There is only the machine. What we call the mind isn't a separate entity. It's simply what the brain does. Your thoughts, your consciousness, your feeling of being you, it's all the result of an incredibly complex network of about 86 billion neurons firing in specific patterns. An easy analogy is wetness. You can't find wetness in a single H2O molecule, but get enough of them together under the right conditions and the property of wetness emerges. In the same way, you can't find consciousness in a single neuron, but get enough of them wired together in a brain and the experience of being you emerges. For the materialist, the mind is simply the brain's symphony. But this begs the question, why does this ancient argument still haunt us today? This isn't just an abstract debate for philosophy classrooms. This question whispers in the background of some of the biggest issues we face today. Now think about artificial intelligence. Can a machine ever be truly conscious? A materialist might say yes. If we build a computer complex enough to perfectly replicate the functions of a human brain, then consciousness should emerge. It would be a mind. A dualist would say no. You can build a perfect machine, but you can't install the ghost. It will only ever be a clever simulation of consciousness with no actual inner experience. There's no one home. Or think about medicine. The placebo effect is a stunning real-world example of the mind-body puzzle. How can a mere belief, a purely mental state that a sugar pill is medicine, cause real, measurable physical healing in the body? And on the flip side, we know that mental states like stress and anxiety can create very real physical illnesses. This two-way street of influence keeps the dualist perspective alive and kicking. The ghost, it seems, has a profound effect on its machine. And this brings us to the most personal, most emotional implication of all. Who are you? Where does your identity live? And what happens when the body dies? If you're a materialist, the answer is stark and simple. When the brain ceases to function, the symphony stops. The lights go out. You, or the pattern of activity, and when the activity ends, so do you. But if you're a dualist, the story might be different. If you are the ghost, then the death of the machine doesn't necessarily mean the death of its pilot. The idea of a soul, an afterlife, or a consciousness that persists beyond the physical body relies almost entirely on some form of dualism. This ancient philosophical question isn't just a puzzle. It's a framework for how we understand our own existence and our place in the cosmos. So, who is right? The dualists who honor the richness of our inner experience but can't explain how it works? Or the materialists who have a simpler explanation but struggle to account for the raw feeling of being conscious? The truth is, nobody knows for sure. This is one of those magnificent questions that we might not be equipped to answer. But the act of asking is what matters. Contemplating it forces us to sit in awe of our own being, to marvel at the fact that a collection of stardust organized into a human body can look back at the stars and wonder what it all means. We are the universe experiencing itself, a strange loop of matter and mind, and the mystery is part of the magic. So where do you land on this? Do you feel more like a ghost piloting a very sophisticated meat suit? Or do you believe that you are the incredible music that your brain plays? And does one idea feel more comforting or perhaps more terrifying than the other? Now, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you for listening. That was another episode from Thinking Out Loud from English Plus Podcast. I'll see you next time.